You're good, bro.
Nice. Yeah, apologies for the re schedule, but I was just in Argentina and I got my times mixed up and time change and yeah.
No, you're good, dude. How was your trip? Was it fun?
Dude, it was awesome. That was a we were fishing Golden Dorado. It's something kind of like a bucket list trip, something I've always wanted to go fishing for, and they are fun to catch, aggressive and just beautiful fish.
How long were you there?
Like 6 days, kind of quick trip.
Good,
A lot of travel.
good.
I traveled like I got home yesterday night and I traveled for like 34 hours. It's
Dude, that's
yeah.
so gross. God bless you. Fuck that.
Yeah, it's funny. I like crossed my wife at the airport because she was going to a birthday party with some friends down in California, and she was all like, "Oh, I'm so tired. I got up at 6 this morning." I was like, "Excuse me, I have been traveling at this point for like 33 hours."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm used to it though. It's all good.
How old are you?
37.
Okay. How long you been married?
9 years. Yeah, my
I'd
wife and
I'd
I
ask you the secrets to that, but we all know that there's no secrets. You just have to work at it.
yeah, there's no secret, man. I don't know. My wife and I have a good relationship, but it also like we worked really hard on it, especially in the beginning. Um, Marriage was tough, dude. I'd never lived with a girl before, and she was moving in, and like I thought I was doing my due diligence. It took like half of my clothes out of the closet, just the little things. But it was tough, man. We went to a bunch of marriage counseling actually in the first 2 years, and um, that solved a lot of problems early on, which I would recommend. Yeah, we're solid now. She's the best.
Like what? Communicational stuff or?
Dude, communicational stuff, how to resolve conflict, I would say probably the was the most valuable. Because a lot of times you're fighting over just garbage that doesn't even matter. And it's just like these little things that are triggering one of us. And yeah, and it's kind of just like understanding what those triggers are or were. And I think like yeah, just how you respond to that and just kind of realizing that like you're on the same team. You know what I mean? Like I'm not against you. I'm for you and we're fighting over some bullshit right now. So let's like just resolve it in a healthy way before it gets to the red.
Sometimes that's easier said than done.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll
I mean, we
catch
don't
I'll catch
no, I was just saying, I mean, we're certainly not perfect at it, but it was pretty bad in the beginning and we have figured out how to resolve conflict, so it's good.
Yeah, I'll catch my wife and I in some sort of tiff and be like, I'm trying to win, and then she's trying to win, and then 10 minutes go by. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, yeah.
This is the
Totally.
most pointless thing right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so good deal, dude. I know you're extremely busy. I think I shot you a message. Fuck, it might have been over a year ago, Eric. And
No, it
then,
was it was longer.
well, yeah, dude. And somehow I caught the fact that you had ended up following my page, and I was like, "Fuck, yeah, I'm gonna reach out to him again real quick." And then we kind of went back and forth for a minute, and here you are, and I'm stoked about it, dude. I've seen some of your clips. I like your perspective on life, at least from what the internet tells me. So I
Yeah,
just
the
kind of
old
want to
internet.
talk shop, and I'm glad you're here. Why are you here?
Well, man, first of all, um, I am sorry about that. You sent me such a nice, not even a message, a video, and it was such a kind video, and I did not see it. I am not very good at social media, and I just don't. I spend too much time on there, doom scrolling, but I don't usually look at like my request messages and stuff. And I honestly did not see that. And then I just saw you popped up on my feed and I was like, this guy seems cool. And he's, like I'm always looking for like motivational aspirations and just people like that. And you seem like exactly that. So I like threw you a follow. And then I think you killed an elk and messaged you. I was just like, yeah, dude, nice elk. And then you messaged me back, and then I saw it. That was the first time I saw it. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, this guy sent me like the nicest video in like 2020 or 21 or something. I felt so bad, dude.
Probably no mustache back then. Looked like a little 16-year-old kid. Funny.
But yeah, and I don't know, dude. Why am I here? I don't, just kind of I like what you're doing. You got a good positive approach at life, and seem like you want to help people. I like your no bullshit stance. You say it how you see it, and I respect that a lot. And yeah, dude, that's pretty much it.
Dope. I appreciate it. Cool. Let's dive into it. So my buddy, a few years ago, he's like, dude, you got to watch this film. I'm like, all right, fuck. Like, I'm a YouTube freaking university guy anyway, so I'm like, let's throw it on. And it was
Yeah.
River. That's how I
Nice.
came to know about you. And that was one of your was that your first elk hunt? And forgive me, it's been a few years
Yep.
since I watched it, but okay.
Oh, all good. Yeah, first elk hunt. Man, it was a very real just experience, and we captured it in that way, like from never shooting a bow before to going on my first elk hunt. And I think that's why people liked it, because there was literally no bullshit in it. It was like as real and raw, exactly how it happened. No fake yeah, you can't really fake that. So yeah, that was my first elk hunt, and it was a grind, man. Absolute grind. A lot of mistakes, and ended up killing a small bull on like week 4. So yeah, it was a good introduction to elk hunting.
And now you're hooked.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's just my personality. I would rather like put a lot, if not all, of my energy into just a few things, and try to excel at those, than kind of just like be average at a bunch of things. So like I snowboard. That's pretty much what people know me as. I snowboard a lot, and I like to fish a lot, and play music, and those kind of 3 things really, like, they're good for my brain, because my brain is in so many different directions at once. It's so hard to like focus on one thing, and so like I need these things to like occupy my brain and put everything into, and like kind of just like give me purpose. And archery came to me at a very ideal time in my life, when I was just like just feeling stagnant, and I go through some pretty heavy ups and downs. I mean, we all do, but yeah, I deal with it, man. And I wasn't in the best place in my life, and archery really helped me with that. And I just went full psycho into it. Like I'm building my own bows. I have a full bow shop at my house. I'm just like I'm a nerd, and I like it.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Dude, it's really difficult to be like I know snowboarding's your jam. We talked about that a little bit last week before we jumped on, and we don't have to go crazy into it, but I know personally how difficult it is and how much work it requires to be really, really fucking good at just one thing.
Yeah.
So for you to have like it sounds like you got like 3 or so things, maybe 4 that you're I'd say well above average, man. Like people don't just go to Argentina to fish if they're not pretty good. You're a great snowboarder. You're getting darn good at freaking bow hunting. You're playing some music. How do you find all the time? Because time's a huge thing on this platform that I love to tap into because I get a lot of I just don't have time
Mm.
excuses when I talk to people, and that drives me up a wall. How do you find time to be like definitely well above average at all these things and even at the top of your field and at least one of them in my opinion?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I would say that like I'm pretty good at boarding. I'm pretty darn good at fishing, just because I've been doing it my whole life, right? Music, not very good at it, but I enjoy it, and it's good for my brain. And I do not consider myself a good archer or hunter at all. I make so many mistakes. I'm such a rookie. But I have this bar in snowboarding that is like like it's a pretty high bar, right? And so like that is my motivation to work work towards to like with these other things like archery and music. So I yeah, that's my goal, right? I want to be good at it because I know what it is to be good at something. And the time thing is hard because I snowboard all winter, right? And then I pretty much stop snowboarding in April or May, and then I kind of just shut that part off of my brain and just go like full into archery. And it's tough if you haven't been shooting. I travel a lot during the winter. You haven't been shooting. You don't have like the muscle memory. I usually have a huge beard, and that like messes with your anchor point. So you got to shave, and then that changes things. And yeah, I just think that I right now it's really snowboarding and hunting are like my two like main things. Fishing's definitely taken a back seat. I usually travel with a guitar or a banjo, and I like yeah, I play here and there, but that's definitely like I would say fourth on the list. And yeah, it's really snowboarding and hunting, and it's kind of like yeah, I mean you could hunt all winter long, but choose to snowboard, and then like I said, I just like after snowboarding's done, it's just like I just focus on hunting. And those are the two kind of things that I'm just like, put my time into really.
Are you burnt out after the winter ends with that snowboard or no?
It depends. Last year I was like super burnt. Not even necessarily burnt. Last year was a hard winter. Snow
Is it like
conditions
a
were
mental
hard.
thing or a physical thing?
Uh both. I mean, last year I lost like a really close friend in an avalanche last year, and that like really messed me up. Hit really really close to home, and it was just like such a
Were you there?
unfortunate. No, I wasn't there, but it was just an unfortunate, avoidable situation. And so I kind of just like that was in I think like March, and I kind of just stopped. I was just so over it. Um, and so yeah, I was pretty burnt. And then I did a trip in Montana actually to the Crazy Mountains, and we made a film with Onyx about just public land access and just the checkerboarded landlocked public pieces of public land that are just really hard to access. And it was a really cool story. And I really like got excited about being in the mountains again. And that was how my season ended. And I was like, I rode one line that I was like pretty hyped on. It got me like, you're a little scared, and it kind of like gets like this is why I'm doing it. So that got me fired up, and that's how the season ended. So that was nice. So I actually am like really fired up on boarding this year. But I would say like the main thing burnout comes is like just when your body hurts, or you tweak your knee or something. It's tough on the body.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do anything remotely close to you, but I've had some yard sales in my day and I'm pretty much good. I'm pretty much good for the weekend, bro.
Yeah.
Not to
No.
mention the level of what you're doing, but yeah, I had one. I popped the bursa sac in my knee like the first weekend that I learned how to, well, was trying to learn how to snowboard. Dude, that fucker
Dang.
blew up like you wouldn't believe.
I mean, if you think about it, like it's a very you're strapped to a board, right? It's a very
Oh man.
unnatural way to move. It's not kind on your body at all. And I think that's why obviously, fitness is a huge part of that, being strong, being flexible. I stretch a lot. And I mean, that's kind of just do that out of necessity, right?
Yep. I'm trying to warm you up, but I'm hoping that you kind of had a feeling as to what you might be getting into, but you alluded literally 5 minutes in. I was like, I'm going to give him another 10 minutes
What do you got?
that you found archery at like a pretty difficult point in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, you can tell me to kick rocks if you want to, Eric, but I think, if you'd like to share that, I think it could help a lot of folks. Maybe describe a little bit about what you were going through and how you got out of maybe the hole that you were in.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I got no problem about talking about it. I just like, dude, I deal with heavy highs and heavy lows, and everybody does. But I don't know. I've never had high self confidence like ever. I have am better at it now, but I have like a pretty negative self-talk. Um, I used to snowboard for Nike, and I was living in Portland because I was where they were based out of, and I was I was rehabbing an injury, and didn't really know like if I was going to snowboard. It was a terrible time in my life, and I got a sports psychologist. I started reading books. I started talking to sports psychologists, and I learned a lot of techniques there that helped a lot, especially with the self-talk, right? Self-talk is so important. And if you mess up, it was just like you'd speak to yourself in a way that you would never speak to another human, right?
Yep. Yep.
You just want it. And how can you like, if you don't love yourself, right? Like how can you like love anyone else or just like succeed in life? So that was something. I was 21 and I was in a very dark time, and snowboarding really got me kind of out of that, and also music too, right? Like I leading up to that kind of rehabbing the foot. I was in Southern California and I couldn't walk, and my buddy, he gave me a guitar and he was like, dude, you got no reason not to play, right? And I just started picking away, annoying the shit out of everyone around me, and kind of just got this addiction of it, right? When you see yourself starting to progress, like it's like an addiction sets in, and so that was really helpful in my life as well. And then I don't know, it just goes through cycles, and I feel like I was in a pretty like low place in my life, and then here comes archery, and it just like, yeah, it just really filled a void that I needed. And I mean, look, dude, I got friends who are like heavily depressed, right? Like I worry about them. I'll call them and check in on them and just be like, dude, are you okay? Do I need to worry about you? Like, and I'm not that, and I'm not trying to like, um, make it anything other than make it a bigger deal than it is, but we all go through it. I go through heavy lows, and gets dark, and then I go through the super highs, right? And I think um it's important to just like recognize that, and and try to, yeah, do try to understand like how can you get out of it, right? And for me, and just like I probably have like super bad ADD or whatever. Like school was really hard for me. It was really hard for me to retain information, right? And so then I was homeschooled, and I ended up like never finishing, and um, I just kind of like have these negative patterns in my life that if I don't have something like a purpose to just like focus on, then I just fall into these like really just negative, just unproductive, dark places in my life, and your brain starts to play tricks on you. And so, yeah, that's pretty much my journey, and what I go through. And I think these things like fishing or snowboarding or archery, like whatever it is, like they really help me get out of that. And I think like I've been thinking about this a lot. Like I really want to get to a place in life where my happiness, mental health, like whatever you want to call it, isn't determined by circumstance. You know what I mean?
Mm, I do.
Like,
Dive into that.
well, no, it's like right now, dude, I'm good. Like I just came off an awesome elk hunting season, right? I was just up in Alaska shooting ptarmigan, and then we were just in Argentina, like catching these awesome fish. Like I feel good, right? Everything's good, but I know that doesn't last, right? And just that's what I just know. Life in general doesn't. It's not always good, right? Life gets hard, and yeah, I'd love to just get to a point where it's like I'm solid, right? Like you just got a baseline, and I don't really know like how to get there. I just I just keep going, and I know when I feel good, and I know when I don't. And so I don't know. I don't got an answer or anything. I just like been thinking about that. I mean, it'd be nice to just not have my happiness dictated by circumstance.
Well, I believe it's because we live in a life where it's like, what's next? What's next? What's next? And that's how we determine, hey, if we're good or if we're bad. A lot of
Yeah,
times, I'll catch myself in that all the time, man. It's like, did I have a good day or a bad day? Fuck, it doesn't matter. Like, am I good or no? Like, whatever happens today for the rest of the day after this podcast, it's like, hey, it could be great, it could be terrible, but like, I got a beautiful life, man. I got a healthy kid, I got a healthy wife. I don't have to worry about my bills. I have a good, solid core group of people. I think we can lose sight of that. You know?
yeah, 100%,
Yeah.
100%. And I always kind of tell myself, it's like, man, life is really, really good, even when it's shitty.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
if you really break it down, like, we live in the easiest time to be alive in human history. Like, we are on a computer on internet that's connected to space, talking to you in Montana, and I'm in Washington. I have a phone in my pocket that
I
just
know.
could tell me any information that I could possibly want. Like, we live in the easiest time to be alive. And I had a moment. This was a couple years ago, but I was complaining. I was alone. I was complaining about something. I was all, I don't even remember what it was. It was nothing probably. And it just like hit me. I'm like, dude, have, we should not complain about anything. Like, we live in the easiest time to be alive, man. Like, what are you complaining about?
Yeah, Hermosi has a quote, and it's like one of the best skill sets somebody can have is the ability to remain positive or happy when life is giving you a bunch of examples and reasons to not be.
Yeah.
You know,
I
you can
mean,
let something completely ruin your day, or you can work through the problem, realize that you're being tested, and then just continue living your life and move on and choose to be happy.
yeah,
It's a choice, man. Like same thing with being upset or pissed off at something. You gonna let this bother you, or are you gonna just spin it around positively? I find
yeah,
myself in those situations every day, dude. And they've been. I was talking to my wife about it yesterday when we were making some videos, and those situations where it's like, hey, this is gonna either fuck your day up or not, come first thing in the morning. It's not like towards the end of the night. It's like, wow, this is happening at 7 a.m. Are we gonna let this ruin the next 14 hours that we're awake or not?
yeah,
So it's a choice, man.
yeah. One thing that's helped me a lot, and I learned this from a sports psychologist, and it's just stuck with me, is like trying to understand what's in your control and what's not,
Yeah.
and really not letting the things that you have no control over in life affect you.
Hmm.
And whatever that is, man, like it could be when you're snowboarding and you're on a trip and the weather sucks and you got all these
What do you?
goals and aspirations and things that you want to ride, but you can't ride them because snow's bad or it's cloudy or whatever it is. And you can really let that affect you and, get into a negative mindset, or you can be like, well, I can't control this at all. So you just kind of let it go. And that's just like something, like, you learn these things, right? But it takes continual practice, right? It's not like you don't just like learn something and then you got it forever. You gotta like you gotta nurture that throughout life. And that's something that I've had a hard time with. And even with like the self-talk, like if I mess up and I'm just like, I'll just be like, you're such a fucking idiot, dude. And then I'll be like, wait, no, you're not. You're not an idiot. You messed up. Learn from it. Um, but it takes work, right? And I think just like acknowledging that is a good first step.
Are those all internal thoughts, or are those things that you're like voicing out maybe with your wife, or if you're surrounded by some buddies on the mountain and you say something negative about yourself, or is it all internal?
Mainly internal, or if you're alone, sure, you might voice it, but mainly internal.
Do you have people in your life, if it's verbal, that'll check you and be like, hey, don't talk to yourself like that?
Mm, nah, I mean, yeah, I got good people in my life, but I haven't had that situation necessarily happen. Probably because it's internal
Yeah.
mostly. Yeah.
When you were working with the sports psychologist, what techniques did you learn to help improve your negative self-talk? Because it's not a code to crack by any stretch, Eric, but it's easy to talk about, but nobody really has an answer. Nobody knows how to express, hey, this is what I do to spin this around and make it more positive. Did you learn anything?
Yeah. I think I kind of mentioned it before, but I think what really turned the light bulb on was the psychologist asked me, he was like, would you ever speak to your wife or your brother or your friend or anybody? Would you that the way that you speak to yourself? And I was just like, no, I actually wouldn't. And so it's like, if you're treating yourself worse than like, well, you're just treating yourself the worst, right? That really made me think about it. And and then I just think the technique that I learned was when you do speak negatively about yourself, like catch it and then do exactly what I just said. You go, okay, I'm not an idiot. I messed up. Like, how can you learn from it? What was in your control? What wasn't? You know, like this is a situation that you got to be good to yourself, right? And give yourself some grace. And it's like you said, it's easier said than done. But yeah, I mean, those two kind of things and techniques like have helped me with that for sure.
And it sounds so elementary too when you have to talk to yourself very softly and like almost like
Yeah,
a little kid, like, Eric,
straight up.
you're not dumb. But
Yeah,
dude,
straight up.
you have to though, man.
Yeah,
Because like the biggest thing is recognizing that.
yeah.
Like
That's
I coach a decent sized group of guys, and I'll tell them it's one of those things where as equally as important as the words that come out of your mouth are, the thoughts that go through your mind are just as important, if not more important, man.
yeah, no doubt.
Because I mean, I talk to myself all day, every day. I don't know about you, and I don't know about everybody else, but I'm, I get 3 to 4 hours in the morning before I even open my mouth to speak to anybody, and but I've been talking to myself all morning.
Yeah,
All morning. I'll take my kid on a walk and I don't put headphones in or nothing, and he falls asleep within 3 freaking minutes, and I'm just
yeah,
in my thoughts thinking about what am I gonna do today? How am I feeling today? How am I gonna bless somebody today? Am I gonna be a piece of crap today, or am I gonna be a good guy today? Or what kind of mood am
yeah,
I in? I'm just constantly talking to myself.
yeah. For sure. You know, it's funny when you're hunting alone and you haven't seen anybody for a couple days, handful of days. The conversations you have with yourself are insane, dude. It's it's hilarious. Sometimes I'll just check myself and I'll be like, wow, that was like, where did that even come from, dude?
Yeah. Dude, and I'm glad you brought that up because I've been thinking about that a lot lately, where over the past year, I haven't had an incredible amount of alone time. I've been with my
Yeah,
wife a bunch. We were pregnant and then we had a kid. So I'm just very, very hands on. I'm talking to dozens of people a day. Let me exit this out. That's about annoying. I'm talking to a dozen people a day, more than that. And then I go out on a solo hunt or I go out with a buddy and he falls asleep during the middle of the day. And now it's just me and my thoughts alone in the wilderness with nothing forever. I was not fucking prepared for that at all. At all, dude. And I was swimming in my mind, like
yeah,
homesick and wanting to go home and leave. And because
yeah,
I just hadn't had that alone time in such a long time. And then when it
yeah,
hit me, I'm like, whoa, I got some shit I need to fucking deal with.
yeah. No doubt, no
It's
doubt.
bad. It's bad.
Yeah, I do think that that's healthy though. I think it's good for me at least. I mean, yes, travel so much and I just have been for like my whole life, dude. Since I'm like 14 years old, I really started just traveling and being gone, just being around a ton of people. And what's kind of funny about that is like I feel like I have like a social anxiety, a level of it for sure. And like I'll just be like weird around people and um I don't know. I also don't like really like being the center of attention, which is like strange because there a lot of times I am at that, and it's definitely not something that I just like feel overly comfortable with. Like I hate going to like movie premieres and like getting up on stage and like talking to people. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like get me out of here. And then like, you get a couple beers in you and you loosen up a little bit, which like also isn't healthy, right? But you're just using it as like a coping mechanism. But yeah, it's definitely like I have a level of social anxiety that is like quite funny for the profession that I'm in.
Yeah, you give me introverted vibes for sure.
Yeah, I
But
feel
you
no,
can
I'm like
you
I
can
feel
you
like I'm
can
an
you can
introverted.
you can turn that on though. You can turn the switch on to be extroverted
Yeah,
if need be.
no, I'm an introverted extrovert for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but I do I'm okay with spending time by myself, and like I like going hunting by myself. I've hunted by myself a lot the last 3 years, and it's like it's awesome, right? It's you get so in tune, and like probably my favorite thing is just like no social media. That's the best part about hunting. Well, not the best, but that's like a very big positive about just being out in the mountains with no service. But yeah, no, I like it. I think it's good, and I like fishing alone, and hunting specifically. It's nice because like it's all on you. Every mistake that's made, like you can't blame anybody else. You got to take accountability because it's all your decisions, and I like that. I feel like I learn a lot about myself um and just you know how green I am at hunting and how many mistakes I make. Right?
Yeah. Do you think you're a better hunter when you're hunting alone opposed to somebody else? I personally do. I think I'm a much better hunter when I'm by myself and I'm making all the right calls and it's up to me to get out of that tent and it's up to me to make the hike and set up, track myself on the maps, get the water, etc. I feel like I'm way better.
Yeah, I do. I mean, there's also just the simple. I mean, it depends what you're hunting. There's the simple just fact, like if you're on a stalk on something, like an
Of
extra
course.
set of boots make it a lot harder. I had a
Hmm.
situation like that in Idaho this year where it just it was just harder to get in close with two people, right? Um, and yeah, I feel like if you're elk hunting and you got a buddy who's calling for you and he knows what he's doing, and or vice versa, like that obviously helps a lot. But for like spot and stock hunting, like yeah, definitely a better hunter alone for sure.
Yeah. I just find myself second guessing myself quite a bit when I'm with somebody else because I'll
Yeah.
bounce what I'm thinking off them, and if they tell me something different, I'm like, oh fuck, like maybe you're there right, and then we're dicking off, not making the stalk and waiting, and then you miss an opportunity. Instead, I'm just more in tune with my instincts when I'm by myself. I'm like, just fucking go.
No,
Yeah, that's the
I
plan.
I totally agree. Like
Hmm.
can definitely relate to the second guessing when you're with somebody else. And there's also like this thing where you know you don't want to be the guy who's just like I'm making the calls and this is what we're doing, right? So you always ask like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Like, what do you think about this? And then like they might have a different opinion, and things get tough. It's nice when there's just like a leader and you're like, all right, I'm leading or you're leading and I'm following, and like it's you just kind of just go that way. But I just like being responsible for my decisions, and when you mess up, it's all on you. You got no. It's so easy when you're hunting with somebody else, and like stock blows up or whatever it is, and like your brain starts going, and you're like, oh man, well I wanted to do this, but he wanted to do that, and it's like I'm gonna, you start like trying to blame someone, where it's like when you're alone, it's like it's all on you, you know?
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
and it goes the other way too, right? When you make good decisions, right? Like
Yep.
I'm hard on myself. I'm like very hard on myself. I was in Hawaii this last June, and first night I made like such an awesome stalk on this just buck, and there was some does in there too, but I was after this buck, and I made such a good stalk on him. And afterwards, I was just like, "Fuck yeah, dude, good job! Like you did a good job there, you know." And that feels good. Um, and I missed. Well, I hit a branch, but I missed him. Right? I didn't hit this. I had a doe dead to rights at 30 yards. It was first night, but there was like a decent buck. He was at 50. And axis deer are just like skittish. They're
They're turned
hard to
on.
get.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I should have shot this doe because Hawaii, it's a meat hunt, right? Like there's so many of them. You're hunting for meat. And but I got greedy and I wanted the I wanted the buck, and I hit a branch and missed him. But like just the way that the stalk from where I saw him to where I got, and when I moved fast and when I moved slow, and like it was good, and I gave myself credit for that, and like I ended up killing two that trip, and it was awesome, right? I learned a lot, which was like really what it's all about. Like in hunting, I'm just trying to learn and get better. Like I'm not a good hunter. I'm really not. Well, I will be one day. I will be a badass hunter. Um, but that day is not today, and it won't be tomorrow or next year. But I'm like motivated to get to a point where, I mean, what is a good hunter? I don't know, but like just where you're making good decisions, and you're actually like you come up with a plan and you stick to it and you execute and you need to it and you adapt when you need to. And I think that's really like what creates a good hunter.
Yeah, you don't strike me as a guy that in 10, 15 years is going to sit back and be like, I'm really good at this. I feel like you're always just going to think that there's room for improvement. I think that's why you're pretty damn good at shit that you choose to do, even though on paper you might not classify yourself as being really legit. But that's good. It's like you're constantly chasing the rabbit. And I might be way
Yeah.
off, but
No, that's no for sure. But I mean, come on, are you ever gonna get to a point in life where you're like, I've done it, I've figured it out, and I've hit this top, and there's no room to grow? Like at that point, you're just stagnant.
you die after that, dude.
Yeah. So
That's
I
when you
never want to
die.
get. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
You
like I think keeping that mindset and just like there is no top, but there is a level of aspiration like that I need to get to. And it's like way up here and I'm like way down here still. And but I mean, dude, I'm doing it. Like hunting is like I'm gonna hunt forever, right? Until I can't hunt anymore. Like until I can't walk. Like I'm gonna be hunting forever. It is ingrained in my DNA. I mean, it is. It's like literally ingrained in our DNA. All our ancestors hunted, but like now that I've tapped into it, like it is in me, and I will do it forever.
Yeah. I use the same thing, like the same analogy in fitness. You don't just wake up in the morning and get out of the shower and look in the mirror and be like, fuck yeah, dude, like I made it. I'm just not going to
Yeah,
train today. It
yeah,
never
totally.
ends, bro. It
Yeah,
never, ever ends.
yeah, and that's good.
It is good.
That's what keeps driving you. That's like motivation.
Yeah. You mentioned you got signed to Nike when you were around 20 years old. Is that right? To snowboard?
18, but yeah, yeah.
18. I'm always curious. I mean, you had a lot of eyes on you then at that point,
Hmm.
and you don't know shit about fuck in terms of life when you're 18.
No, no.
What was that experience like being that young? I mean, Nike, this isn't, Costco brand, brother. That's pretty fucking wild. I'm sure you experienced and learned a ton about yourself, and I'm sure you also felt a lot of pressure to perform, obviously.
Yeah,
What was it like
yeah.
working through that process at such a young age?
Um, man, I haven't really thought about that. I, I
That's why
think
you're
that,
here.
yeah. I think that, man, I just got, okay, I got an older brother. He's 4 years older than me. My hero, right? Everything that he did, I wanted to do. He got a skateboard, I got a skateboard, whatever it was. And he's also a pro snowboarder. And 4 years older than me. And like, so I see him getting sponsors and just getting free shit, right? Like when you're a kid and you get a box of free shit,
That's
it
all
is
you
like,
want, bro. That's
oh,
all
there
you
is
want.
nothing better, right?
Yep.
Nothing. But I'll never forget my first free sweatshirt. It was, I wore that thing all summer long. It was white. It was so dirty, and it was just like it was like 2 sizes too big for me, and I just wore it every day. It was the best. But um, I kind of knew that what I wanted to do with my life at a very, very early age. So school wasn't important. I dropped out of homeschool and I just kind of got thrown into it. And I was doing it. I was winning contests. I was getting sponsors. I got my first paycheck when I was 14, started traveling to other countries. And I just didn't really think about Nike as like, I just thought about it as another sponsor, right? I didn't really like think about it like as like, oh, well, this is Nike. This is like a big deal, I just didn't. And then I ran into some trouble in just with injuries and just I missed a season and then I kind of like missed half a season, the next one, and yeah, I've talked about this on other podcasts, but yeah, there was a lot of pressure from Nike, the brand, to like perform, and that was the year that I just kind of like stopped caring about what anybody like thought about me, and I just focused on snowboarding. I grew a beard. It was the first time I'd ever grown a beard. I just like lived in a shitty A-frame cabin in Squamish, British Columbia, and just slept on an air mattress all winter long and just focused on snowboarding. And it ended up being like, one of the best years ever. I got nominated for Rider of the Year, won video part of the year, and that kind of like changed the trajectory. My brother had been actually the year before that, 2 years before that, my brother had won video part of the year and Rider of the Year 2 years in a row, and then he got hurt, and then I won it. I won video part of the year the next year. So it was like people were always saying like, "Oh, he's just the little brother, like in your brother's shadow." And honestly, I never really felt that. Like I I I didn't. I always looked at it as like, okay, he's 4 years older than me. I got 4 years to like, get to where he's at and like how good he is. And that was kind of like my mindset on it. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of just looked at Nike as just another sponsor. And it was a good team, and they took really good care of us. I mean, they flew us business class everywhere. It was the golden days, man. And then I actually ended up quitting, and I went to Adidas because Adidas was kind of starting like their snow program, and so I actually quit Nike and I went to Adidas, and that was really cool. It was 3 years of just like getting to ride with my best friends and riding at like a level that I thought was pretty high for sure. And yeah, that was cool.
Was that a contractual thing? Did they offer you more money, or did you just want to switch?
Um, both for sure, but I just kind of I got to a point during that season that I was living in the A-frame. Nike basically said that they weren't going to re-sign me, and I was like having the best season I'd ever had. And so I ended up like making pretty much like a sponsor me video. I kind of like took all my footage and put it into a little edit and sent it to him. And Bobby Meeks, the team manager at the time, he was basically just like, we cannot cut him. We can't do it. And so they gave me a 6-month contract. And at that point, I was just like kind of over it, just the way that, well, I was kind of like, what, you guys like didn't want to re-sign me, and I had to like prove myself, and like now you want me. And so I was like kind of like, fuck you. But then just Adidas was this just new program with, one of my best friends, Jake Blauvelt. I really wanted to ride with him. And yes, it was a much bigger contract. And so that definitely played a role in it. And that was cool, man. Those are the golden years. And then it ended like that. It was
Why?
crazy, dude. So I was working on a film with Travis Rice. It was called The Fourth Phase. It was like one of the big Red Bull deals, and Adidas paid a lot of money for me to be in that film and just paid for my travel. And it was supposed to be like a 2-year project, and then it turned into a 3-year project, and then it turned into a 4-year project. So the year that it was supposed to come out was the year my contract was up, and it got pushed another year. So my contract's up, and they're kind of just like, well, we haven't like seen any like return in investment. And then just like a giant company like Adidas, there's some suit sitting in Germany, and he sees a line item on a contract that's like a pretty significant. Well, to me, it was a significant amount of money, but yeah, they're just like, no, we're cutting you. And and that was like, I was in the depths for a while on that. That was probably like, I don't know, 80% of my income, and also travel budget, right? Like these brands, you get travel budget, so you have money to go out and hire filmers or go on these trips, and all of that got taken away. And honestly, that like derailed my snowboard career big time. I had 3 years after that with um no eyewear sponsor, no outerwear sponsor, no travel budget. Like I a lot of it's opportunity, man. Like there's so many just good boarders, tons of good boarders. But if you don't have the opportunity, like, and meaning like money to go out and do these trips and perform, like you're not going to be doing it, right? And so that big time derailed, and I clawed myself back in there and got some sponsors and got some support, and here we are. But like, to be honest, now, like last year, I lost my not my eyewear sponsor and my outerwear sponsor again. Lost the majority of my income from snowboarding, and I'm just kind of at this point where I want to keep boarding. Like my body's still good, my mind's still there. Like I think I'm still pretty good, and I know I'm not going to be able to do it forever at this level, right? And so I'm like, I'm super motivated to keep boarding, but like I have no support. Meaning like I still have sponsors who pay me, but no travel budget, no video support, like none of that, right? And so it makes it a lot harder. It's like, well, so like, what am I supposed to do? I guess I'll just ride Baker, like my home resort. Just ride Baker and GoPro, and like maybe go on some trips here and there, or like where I can. It's just like when opportunity isn't there, it makes it like pretty tough, right?
It seems like snowboarding, at least the style that you do, would be kind of hard to do like a freelance ordeal or version of that.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, dude, it's an expensive sport, big time. Do you guys ever get dropped off in helos at the top?
oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, helicopter rides aren't motherfucking cheap, bro, at all.
Don't I know it,
you
dude?
ain't you ain't freelancing that,
Yeah.
dog.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, I got crazy heli stories, but yeah, I mean that's like the ultimate goal is to get to Alaska at the end of the season. You get to Alaska, you get in the heli, and you get to ride the craziest mountains and push yourself as far as you want to go, and that's the goal. It definitely hasn't happened in a couple years, just from a budget standpoint, and I'm kind of at the point. If I was to fund, you know, I was be like, all right, I'm gonna fund a filmer and fund a trip, spend however many thousands of dollars on that. Like at that point, it's kind of just like a vacation, right? It's not gonna like
Sure.
do anything for my snowboard career. It's not gonna like get me another sponsor. It's not, right? And so yeah, at this point, like I'm just kind of riding it, and I'm hopeful like I can get some more sponsors, and I mean I have like great sponsors who support me, but definitely like no travel budget and no like filmer budget is tough to make it
Because
happen.
it's
And so you can't.
it's eyeballs too, right? So if you don't have the content and you can't provide that
Yeah,
content maybe to a specific brand, like if your eyewear sponsors Oakley, Oakley's not just gonna pay you a bunch of money if they don't have sick videos or photos of you like doing your thing, correct?
yeah. There's an element to that for sure. Like typically when you have a sponsor, they'll be like, all right, we're going on a trip here with a filmer, with a photographer. We're gonna get all these assets and like that. But it's just, I don't know. Action sports industry is not in the best place. It's not. Well, there's two sides to that. Brands are making tons of money. There's the like
Tons of money.
they are. They just have found it, the game has changed, right? They don't need to pay, these athletes a giant sum of money when they're basically taking that money and putting it into like Facebook ads and influencers and just like all this, other stuff. Like the game's changed, and you kind of just adapt to it, and it is what it is. But like I look at my brother, for example, like he is one of the best boarders in the entire world. He is so good, and he has like no support. Like I have way more support than he does. He has like basically no sponsors, and is just still writing and putting out like the some of the best stuff. And it sucks to see, man, and it really does. And I think that's just kind of the state of the action sports industry. There's a lot of people who don't have outerwear sponsors, and so the market is like so flooded. And I kind of just got to a point where it's like, man, I just feel like I'm on my knees begging for like a $12,000 a year contract, which is like not a lot of money. And I'm like begging for this and I can't even get it. And so I'm like, man, this is a tough game. And I just kind of don't really have like the mental capacity to even like do that. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Well, dude, you're 2 decades darn there into this thing.
Yeah, I mean, and I love it, but I don't know. I'm just kind of adapting, man, and just riding with it. Everything in life, you try not to. I try not to force things, right? Things just kind of roll with it, or you try to. And when it's bad, you try to work through it. Like when I lost Adidas, like I was just talking about, I was bitter. I was I was so mad and bitter at snowboarding, and I just had this just like terrible mindset and just like bitterness in my heart for years because I was riding really good, and I felt this like felt like I deserved, right, that to still be there. I felt like I was entitled to this because I was working so hard and I was putting this out. It took me years to get past that and just realize like we don't really deserve anything in life. Like I'm riding down a plank of wood down a mountain, and I'm like, all this, I deserve this, and it's like,
Feeling entitled and shit.
yeah, it was such a good lesson, man, like such a good lesson. And now in like the same situation, really, like just not having a ton of sponsors and support, like dude, now I like literally just have thankfulness, man. I'm so thankful for snowboarding. Like it has taught me so much. It has given me so much. I have lived a life that like is very fortunate and not normal for most people. Like just that lesson right there, like being super bitter for years and finally breaking out of that and just like kind of just realizing like, man, like let's like take that bitterness and replace it with like gratitude, right? And that's where I'm at today. I'm like so thankful for snowboarding, and now like, dude, this hunting thing is crazy. Like I didn't get into hunting to start working with brands like Sitka or Turtle Box, or like I had never even thought about that. Like literally just I wanted to hunt because, well, I'd been bird hunting for like years, right? And so like I was hunting, but like just duck hunting around my house because like typically October, November, pretty slow. There's no snow, and yeah, and then I started. I made a film about fishing and snowboarding. It was called Alignment. It was the first one that I ever made myself, and I directed, and it did really well. People liked it, and I got a message from Benchmade Knife Company on Instagram, and it was Troy Hellman. Oh yeah, dude, great knives. The Bug Out. That's
Love the bug.
it's the best pocket knife ever made.
It's a great pocket knife. One of my
Yeah,
all-time favorites.
yeah. And so Troy Hellman hits me up and he's like, "Hey man, I really liked your film. We should work together." So I came on Benchmade and he's like, "Hey, what do you want to what's next? What do you want to do?" I was like, "I really want to make another film because alignment film really just like unlocked this creative side of me that like I had never really tapped into. And he's like, well, what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, I really want to get into hunting and I want to tell a story that's like real. Like, I don't want to just manufacture a story because I have budget to do so. Right. And I'm like, I really want to get into archery. I want to get into elk hunting. And he's like, I can help with that. And that was literally the start of my archery journey in life. He introduced me to the Born and Raised Outdoors guys. Cody Kellum took me on a hunt in Montana, and I was just, watching. I wasn't hunting. I was just watching. It was Cody Kellum and Kevin Harlander. Harlander was the heavy Kevy. He was the shooter, and I heard my first bugle. I'll never forget it. And then whatever. Long story long, they introduced me to Johnny Burford, and I like stayed at his house, and we were just shooting the shit and having coffee in the morning, and we just really connected. We came up like from very similar upbringings, and I was going to Twin Bridges to fish with the Winston guys, and so I left, and he calls me while I'm driving. He goes, "Hey man, like I was thinking about it. I got this spot that I really want to go hunt. I don't have anybody to hunt with. Like, you want to come with me?" I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." Same year that I went with the Born and Raised guys, like just a couple days later. So he takes me on horses way back, like we went like 16 miles back, like deep, right? Chainsaw, like it was such a cool experience. He goes, "Can you ride a horse?" I'm like, "Man, I have like 10 years ago, but like," he's like, "I got a great horse for you. You're gonna be fine." I'm like, "Okay." Um, anyway, he goes out. We set up camp. He's like, "All right, we're gonna like hike up like an hour up here and just do some scouting." Dude, he calls a bull in. I film him. I have awesome footage of this dude. I film him shooting a bull at 20 yards, just like laced him. And I watched the bull, go down and fall over and die. And we cut him up. I'd never done anything like that before. Ate tenderloins. And I'm just like, yeah, this is it, dude. I'm doing this. And so all this is kind of like going down when I'm like still talking with Troy at Benchmade about like how are we going to make this film together. And then I drew Montana, and I was like, wow, this is real.
Which
And
isn't really
this,
fucking hard to do for the listener. It's really not that hard to do.
I think it's harder now, but like at that time, yeah, I don't know. I didn't know anything about it. Johnny was like, "Hey, did you put in for Montana?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Dude, deadline's now. Like, you have to do
Hmm.
it." And I'm like, "How do you do it?" So I'm like on the phone with them. I was at a snowboard contest actually, and I was like, "All right, dude, I'll go to my room." And so yeah, I like went to my room and got on the computer, and he helped me through the application. But yeah, man, I mean, the whole thing was just kind of tying this back into just things happening naturally is like I was designing a signature line with Black Diamond, which is my outerwear sponsor at the time, and I wanted camo. And the president of Black Diamond was friends with Jonathan Hart, who was at Sitka, and he's like, "Oh, let me just see if we just did like a backdoor deal and got Subalpine." And so like we started, kind of building that, and then I wrote out a whole deck for River, and I sent that to, like Jay Matthews and Todd Barker and like all these dudes at Sitka, and it was kind of like not really. They were like, "Oh yeah, it's like we get these decks all the time, people wanting to do stories," and then I just randomly reached out to Shannon Vandeveer, who he owns Cold Collaborative production company. He makes awesome films. I was just a fan of his, and we start talking, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just so busy." I'm like, "Cool, man. Well, like maybe we can work together on a project at some point, right?" He calls me back like 2 hours later, and he's like, "I thought about it. Like, let's talk more." So we started talking, and he was just asking me questions, trying to like get to know me, and I told him about River and what River is and what that means to me, and like for those of you who've never seen the film, like River is basically this word that I say that brings me back to a point in my life, a very specific point of memory where I was sitting on this river. I just caught a steelhead on a dry fly, and I was drinking a beer, and I was just like, everything is perfect. Like, it was just this moment where like I could just die right now and like be happy. You know what I mean? And so through the sports psychologist, he taught me this technique is like you need something when your heart's going, when your mind's racing, when you're negative, like you need something, whether it's a word, a memory, just a thought, whatever, to bring you back to this like level playing field, right? And that is river to me. So I'm just telling this to Shannon, and he's like, that's it. So he really like, I had written it all out. He really polished it. He came up with river and decided like that was going to be like this huge part of the story. And he had a big relationship with Sitka. And so he just like ran it across the finish line. He's like, I'm doing this film. This is what we're doing. And so Sitka came on board. We made River. And then just like the timing was insane. Like Brad Christian was doing the Sitka studio thing, and I had like the collab with Black Diamond and Sitka, which never was a studio piece, but it just like turned into one. And then that just happened to launch with the film. And then Sitka was doing their everyday line. And they were just like, dude, we want to bring you on as an ambassador. I'm like, what? Like, that's crazy, man. And I'm going to be honest, I had some major imposter syndrome for, I still kind of do, but like now I'm actually like, I'm a hunter. Like I'm doing it. Nobody can deny that. Like I'm not faking anything and I am a hunter. But at that time I was like, man, I just feel like such an imposter, going to these TAC events with like all the bad boys, Dudley, Adam Foss, like Cole Kramer, like you name it. And here I am, right? I'm like, I don't deserve to be here. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
but fuck all that, dude.
Well, I'm
Fuck
just
all
being
that. All
real. It's
them.
not no.
No, I hear you, but those guys are just like you and I, man. You can't look at it that way. You can't look at it that way at all. Those guys are just hardworking dudes, blue collar guys. Um, and hey, you made an opportunity happen at the end of the day, bro. That's like the big takeaway that I got from you saying this. It's like, yeah, you don't force things, but at the same time, dude, closed mouths don't get fed either. Like
Yeah, no,
you
for
went
real.
out and got it too, man. You like this wasn't just thrown on your plate. Oh, hey, Eric, X, Y, and Z. Well, we want to make this film with you. Nobody ever hit you up about that. You did.
No. Yeah.
So like you got to give yourself some credit, bro. Like you ate that that
Yeah.
that
No,
takes
that's good.
work, bro.
No, that's good. I'll take that, man. Thanks for saying that. No, I mean, I agree. And I just I don't know, man. The hunting community has just welcomed me. It's been so cool. Like it's and I'm sure that there's drama in just every industry. There's drama. There's drama in snowboarding. I'm sure there's drama in hunting, but everybody's been so cool to me and just really welcomed me with open arms. And I think I've just fallen in love with the community, and yeah, it's great, man. And so now I'm, working with Sitka pretty closely, and like John Barklow just helping design gear. And I can't, there's some things on the horizon that most people probably know about it, but I don't think I can officially talk about. But that's really cool. That's Sitka's doing, and I'm big part of that in the future. So it's exciting, man.
Dude, you seem very appreciative of the opportunity, and I think that resonates with people, or at least I hope that it does, man. You know,
Dude,
it's it.
you gotta stay humble, man. You got to. And we're all guilty of ego and pride and letting that get in the way of decisions and stuff. But I really try to stay humble, and it really goes back to like what I have mentioned before about losing Adidas and being so bitter about it, and then just over years of like processing that, and just like being on like just we don't deserve anything, dude. We don't like we just you don't. And if you feel like you do, then I don't know, then I probably like don't really want to hang out with you that much. It's like like Cam.
I
I'm a
see.
huge Cam Haynes fan. And like love him or hate him, like the guy is well, he's undeniable, just like he says. And he's been a huge inspiration to me, and I just like thrive off that. I just like work harder. Nobody cares, dude. Like you care. way more about what other people think about you than what other people actually think about you, right? And
Yep.
if you have that mindset and you just are focusing on like you and things you can control and just being a good human, helping people where you can, like, yeah, like you're doing it right, you know? And like I've never looked at myself as like an inspiration, but a lot of people will watch like Alignment or River and they'll hit me up and be like, dude, like it's like such an inspirational movie. And I'm like, cool, man. That means like I'm doing something right, you know? And that feels good.
That's why I hit you up, dude. Like that, I
Nice.
watched that. I watched River, and I was like, this guy's fucking solid. When I see authenticity, Eric, I don't forget that. Like
Yeah.
I love dudes who aren't trying to create some false narrative, and they're just like you were. I mean, green as hell in that film, and
Oh,
it
the
was
greenness.
awesome to, yeah, the greenest,
Yeah.
right out of the crayon box, dude.
Hmm.
And I loved that because a lot of guys, going back to the ego and the lack of humility, they want to act like they got this shit all figured out, whatever their field is, and it's like, bro, you don't. And then
No.
when they portray the fact that they do, that also stands out to me, and I'm like, you're not that. Don't act like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll resonate so much more with a guy who is just, hey, I'm so green. I just shaved my beard and now I feel like I'm just freaking learning how to shoot my bow again. What the hell is going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't even have this figured out to begin with, and now I just shaved and now I don't know what's going on again. Right?
Yeah. Totally.
So I really, and I think that's why my stuff does pretty decent on here, is just because I'm just me. You know, who else
Dude,
are you
that's
gonna
why I
be?
followed you.
Yeah, who else are you gonna
That's
be?
straight up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's,
yeah,
I mean, I also think like what you put out is like what you receive, right? You put that out in the world and um you attract that. You attract good people and I mean life is short, man. Like I don't want to be spending time with people that are bringing me down or just negative and like I want to be surrounded by good positive people who are uplifting and who want to see me succeed and I want to see them succeed, right? And like and that's hard. That's something I've worked on a lot in years past in snowboarding is like trying to be happy for, you know, people who are getting these sponsors and getting all this opportunity and I'm feel like I'm not and I'll be like, man, I want to be like happy for them. You know what I mean? And easier said than done. But that's just goes back to, you know, the mindset, which is really come to me like pretty heavily in hunting is like, man, I don't deserve this. And then being like, man, I really don't deserve anything in life. And if you kind of like, yeah, that puts the ego in check a bit, you know?
yeah, dude. Because if you're, and I've dealt with this in my life, I might succeed in an area, and then a friend that I'm somebody that I might have considered a friend, I can tell that their feelings aren't genuine. Like they're not genuinely happy for me to kill that bull or to move here to accomplish this or that or whatever the case may be. What kind of friend are you, man? You know
Yeah, totally.
that you should want your people to win, or I guess you just want to hang out with losers, people that don't make any progress towards anything and accomplish their goals. I don't want to hang out around people that don't have any aspirations to make it in a certain field. What are we doing?
No, for
You want to
real.
be around successful people that are setting goals and that are working hard. And when they achieve those things, dude, I'm up on the freaking mountaintop just yelling and screaming. I get more fulfillment, Eric, when I go out and hunt with a buddy, or like my dad, he's coming out next month again out to Montana, when they kill something, 10x than when I kill something.
That's cool.
You know, just to play a small piece and maybe I glass something up. Hey, let's go kill this animal or whatever it may be. I get so much fulfillment and joy out of that, bro. I love
Yeah.
watching other people accomplish things and just seeing how excited they are. I
Yeah,
love
dude.
that.
That is a very good quality to have. And And I mean, it's easier said than done, right? Like, all right, you're having a hard hunting season and you're you know, flipping through Instagram and you see all your buddies are just killing and killing and you know, and you're like, dude, it's like I have jealousy. I'm envious of that. I'm like, man, like why, But also the flip side of that is it's like motivation. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it everything I have, and I'm gonna either hunt until the season's over or there's a bull on the ground. You know, like
Yeah.
I didn't kill in Montana last year. I I hunted. I think I hunted 25 days and I hunted hard, dude. And I had my chances. I really did. I had two golden opportunities that I
What side of
completely
the you even got to say it on here. What side of the state were you on though?
Southwest.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I hunted alone a lot. And I had a early on opportunity where I could have killed a small bull, but I was like, you know, early on your standards are pretty high, and then the season starts going longer and longer, your standards dip.
Hmm.
Um, and it's
You're
like
you're you're
I'm
reading right. You're reading regs like, what's a legal bowl in this unit?
yeah, like are those brow tines 5 inches long? It's in
we,
Colorado. Yeah, I mean, but man, and I don't have like these high standards. Like I don't,
me neither.
I haven't killed enough to even get to that point. I have a lot of respect for people who are like, I am only gonna kill a mature bull this year. Like I have a lot of
Yeah,
respect for that. But
spitting
like,
on 300-inch bowls. It's like, dude, get out of here.
yeah,
you don't
well, I
you don't
mean,
want to hunt with me, bro.
whatever though, dude. It's like they've killed enough to be
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
I'm challenging myself. Like I could
That'll be
kill this
us.
bull. Yeah.
That'll be us
So
down the road.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But I'm not at that point yet. And I mean, yeah, I want to shoot a mature bull all day, but I'm like, I'm not above shoot. I was going to shoot a cow this year. I hunted in Idaho, like whatever for a couple weeks, and I didn't know that cows were legal. And at the end, I was like, oh, dude, I'm shooting a cow if I get an opportunity. Like, I don't care. I killed a bull in Utah, and I really wanted to kill another one for my parents, honestly, that like the meat would really help them. So that was really my goal because I didn't need two bulls. It's just my wife and I and my dog. He gets some. But yeah, like I mean, we don't buy red meat. We we really don't. Haven't in the last 5 years, honestly, since I started archery, big game hunting. So I mean, that's what we eat.
It's awesome. Do you know Matt Miola by chance, professional surfer?
I know who he is. I've never met him though.
Yeah. You remind me a little bit of him for whatever
Cool.
reason. I feel like you guys would get along.
Yeah,
What
he's
do
a
you
Hawaiian, right?
He lives out there. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't remember if he is Hawaiian, but he's got like total Hawaii vibes. You know those people that just super chill
yeah.
and yeah,
Oh, the best.
he can like go out and hunt axis like in his backyard. It sounds pretty neat.
That is nice, dude. I went to
Yeah.
Hawaii with Jay Lee, Justin Lee, and Sloan Brown from Turtle Box this year, and we just had the best time ever, man. Axis deer, honestly, elk is number one for sure, but Axis is a pretty close second,
Dude,
man.
I've
You hunt
never
them in the
had it.
rut,
I've never had it.
buddy.
A
You
lot of
gotta
my
go.
buddies go out to Hawaii and I'm still waiting on my invite, but I haven't quite caught one yet. I'd do that for sure. That sounds like big fun.
I the last 2 years I've gone out to Texas, and that
Okay.
that
Yep.
one's from Texas, um,
Yep.
and that's cool. It's I like Texas. It's just raw. It's hot. There's just shit trying to kill you. Huge spiders and scorpions and ticks, and it's just like it's pretty raw. I like it. Um,
I love how proud of people are of being from Texas. I think that's the coolest thing. Kind of
yeah,
similar
dude.
to Montana. If somebody's been here their whole life, like within 10 minutes of you meeting them, they're going to let you know that. And I just think that that's
Yeah.
so cool.
No, I like that too, man. Don't mess with Texas.
That's it. That's it.
But the Texas one's cool. Where we hunt, it's a you're typically hunting water. So you're
Sure.
sitting blinds and so it's definitely a different style of hunt. But Hawaii's cool because dude, it's all spot and stock.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them, right? Like the ones in Texas are a lot bigger, but you're just getting many opportunities and like dude, I don't have a ton of spot and stock experience, and so that Texas hunt really changed. Well, I just learned a lot, you know, and I learned a lot about getting close and when you can move and when you can't. And axis deer are really, really skittish and just like they are cagey, man. So it's hard to get close. And then I took a lot of like what I learned and after that hunt, I was like, dude, I could hunt elk completely different. And like
Hmm.
the elk I killed this year, man, they would respond to cow calls, but there was like two bulls had cows, they were fighting each other. There was a satellite bull in the middle, and like just got right in the middle of them, you know, and just like positioned myself well, and like yeah, like got one down. It was awesome, right? And that I would say like a lot of that um, kind of just came from that Hawaii style of hunting where you can just kind of like position yourself well and not like rely on calls so much. Like, yeah, if they're responding to calls and you can get one to come in, rock and roll. But if not, like change it up.
Have you ever hunted antelope?
No, but I want to.
You'd love it. It's I'd imagine it's kind of similar, just because if you can spot and stalk an antelope, probably similar to an axis deer, you can spot and stalk anything in this country. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard it's really hard and you're taking long shots and they got really good eyesight, so it's like it's
Yeah.
seems tough.
Yeah, you'd love it. You'd love it. And it's such good practice, dude, because it's a numbers game. Like the more stalks you go on, the better you get, and you get a lot of
Total.
opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Have you ever
cool.
thought have you ever thought about what your life would have been like without snowboarding? What you might be doing?
Yeah. I feel like just the time that I grew up, like action sports was so cool, right? Like skating
Dude,
was
of
so
course.
cool.
Yes.
And I feel like if I grew up in the city, like I probably would have like skated a lot. If I grew up near the ocean, I probably would have surfed. Like, I don't know. Um, I just happened to grow up in a ski resort town that was just booming at that time. You know, that was when all the professional snowboarders were coming to Mammoth and it had the best park, right? All the contests were there. It was just like this mecca. And I just kind of like look at it as I'm a product of my environment and had good parents who supported me and you know, my dad taught me how to fish. He was always taking us in the mountains and backpacking. And so that was like where my love for that came from. And then my mom taught me how to snowboard. She loved the snow, and that
Your
was
mom taught
where
you how to
that.
snowboard, really?
Yeah,
That's cool. I haven't
yeah, it's really cool.
So she was really into it then.
Yeah, yeah,
She taught your brother then, obviously, too.
yep, 100%.
Neat. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think my dad's ever been skiing or snowboarding.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Side quest really quick. When was the last time you were on a set of skis?
Oh man, I try to avoid him long time ago. I'm afraid. I'm afraid my knees are gonna blow out, dude. Like one's gonna go one way and the other one's gonna go this way. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's uncomfortable. Yeah.
No, dude, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of obviously I'm fairly new to you, but I'm reflecting on what I know about you and your life. Dude, you did something and are currently still doing something that a very, very small percentage of people have been able to achieve, which is becoming a professional in their said sport. That's pretty wild, man.
Yeah. No, it really is. It is. I don't know, man. I just product of my environment, man.
Yeah.
Timing, like just I don't know. I believe in God, dude. Like that's like definitely had a lot of favor in my life for sure. You know, like that's a huge, I mean, that's like the part of it. Um, but yeah, like I just I can't explain it. I just literally I set a goal because my brother was a pro snowboarder and that was what I wanted to do and he was my hero and that was my goal and that was just like what I put everything into, you know, and it just as easily like could have gone the other way, right? I could have,
Oh yeah.
you know, dropped out of high school and those years where I was hurt like during Nike, like that could have been it, right? And actually, like I thought it was it when Nike was not wanting to re-sign me, and I was just like in a pretty dark place. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, right? And I like fishing. I was like, maybe I'll be a fishing guide. I'll just be like a dirt bag, bum down by the river, you know. Like that was backup plan. I didn't really have one, and um, yeah, dude, I just like I said, I didn't do anything to deserve this. It's just like I'm just living life and trying to steward what I've been given well. You know, it's kind of like my mindset on
I think there's something to that not having a backup plan though.
it. Yeah,
Because if you have a backup plan, it's probably honestly the smart way to go about it. But I'm not exactly sure you're going all in on plan A if you know that you kind of have a fallback.
yeah, totally.
I think guys can get caught up in that where it's like, if this doesn't work out, I can do plan B, C, D, E, and F. So they're not 1000% in on plan A. And I think that can be detrimental at times and really not make them put their nuts on the table how they should.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about it like that, but yeah, that is a good point. Like just go all in on something, and if it doesn't work out, like you're gonna find something else, right?
Yeah.
Like look at all the super successful businessmen men in the world. Like they've gone most of them have gone bankrupt, lost
Yeah.
everything, started from scratch again, and maybe multiple times gone bankrupt, and then like finally they get the one that hits, and those are just like the driven, like very successful people. And that's something where I really struggle with at times is motivation and that drive. And I'm very, very driven when it comes to snowboarding, archery, fishing. Like I look at it as like this is my purpose and I am motivated for that and I have a goal. But sometimes, you know, when I come home, I'll just like I don't know, I lose it, man. I lose the motivation, and I procrastinate and I put things off, and it takes me forever to do things. And that's kind of like where I like start slipping into like the dark times, you know, and then I'll be like, all right, I have a trip that I need to get ready for, and then um, you know, that's my purpose. And I kind of attribute a little bit of that to like dropping out of high school because I just didn't. Well, first of all, I was homeschooled and I would be traveling and snowboarding. And so my mom would literally just like load up a backpack full of like my books and curriculum. And it was up to me to do it. And like, I don't know, I thought I was really cool at the time. I was like this young, like pro snowboarder. I was making money. I was smoking weed. I was just thought I was like this, just like school. I don't want to do school. So I the structure of like, all right, you need to have this paper in by this time, and you need to you need to do it well to get your grade. I just didn't really have that. So I guess like any young kid still in high school, I would say like you're doing it anyway, man. Like finish it, do it well, and finish it. Like don't go to college if you don't want to. Like that seems pointless at this point in life. But um, I think that structure would have helped me in life later on in life, and that's something that I strive for. I mean, it's like part of the reason why I followed you. Like you're inspirational, dude. You got good solid views, and I was inspired, and I was like, this dude seems cool. Follow, you know, like I'm looking for that. Like I I was trying to get this book before Argentina, but it was sold out. I want to read this book called, I think it's called Seven Atomic Habits. And it's all about breaking bad habits and negative habits in your life and how to create new ones that are positive. And I want that. Like I need that. And that's kind of like, yeah, my goals right now is just to try to just become better. And it's also because I'm hard on myself, right? Like, you know, I'll talk to my wife or my friends about this, and they'll be like, "Dude, you've done a lot. Like you've done so much in your life." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I also waste a lot of time, right? And life's short, man. Like I want to like, what's after this? What's after snowboarding? What's at like, how am I going to make money? Right. And just trying to like learn about that, learn about like finances and trading. I'm like super into crypto, which is a whole nother rabbit hole that we don't have to go down to. But like I've learned, like I lost my outerwear sponsor last year, and I've been into crypto for a while, but like I really got into it like last October, and I actually started like taking classes on trading and learning what that is and like how to long and short things, and I put a lot of my time into that, and it was good. And I started like being like, all right, I'm like making a little bit of money. I'm like not actually like worried about not having an outerwear sponsor, you know, and just got me thinking. I'm like, man, if I just like actually applied myself to this and like really learned it, like I could make a living doing that for sure. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, that's like that's kind of where I'm at in my life is just like how can you focus on the things that you can control to like to better yeah, to better your life and just like make good decisions, right? Because I feel like I've made a lot of bad decisions, made terrible investment decisions. I've lost a ton of money, you know, like just stuff like that. And so that's like that's where I'm at right now. I'm really trying to get rid of some negative habits and negative mindsets and replace them with positive ones, and just try to like yeah be better at life because life's hard sometimes.
It's a simple thing and it sounds simple, but it's not. It's take more action, right? Because when you get home from a trip and you start procrastinating, like you're telling me, and the motivation is lacking, there's not a lot of action being taken. And then when there's no action being taken, then you start getting stressed out and you get down in the dumps.
Yeah,
The answer to that is take more action.
yeah, that's good.
And then you'll watch that stress disappear slowly. It's like you got to take action because then you're in
Yeah,
your thoughts and then you're mulling around and fuck poor me, and that's where it gets dark for a lot of guys.
yeah.
Just what
No, I
I've
can
seen, man.
relate.
The more action you can take, and you're a guy that I think if you're in it, like you're in it, right? You
100%.
got to be interested in said thing. Hunting, you're a student. Crypto, you're learning. You're taking the courses. You're interested in it.
Yeah, for sure.
Snowboarding, easy to get up and train to go to an event, right? But it's the
Yeah.
mundane things in life that nobody fucking wants to do that is hard to take action with.
Yeah, like taxes, dude. I get an extension and
Oh,
I wait
bro.
till the absolute
October
last
15th, we've done that the past 3 fucking years, dude. I
in my
hate
whole
it.
life. My whole life.
Yeah, we're gonna
It's
have to
the
file for an
worst.
extension. Yeah, Eric, we know. Tyler, we
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we already got
Literally
you
don't even
down.
have to don't even have to like tell my accountant. She knows. Um, but going back to like what something you just said and tying it back to hunting, like hunting has been so positive for me in my life for many reasons, but one specifically is, you know, snowboarding. I'd train from like October to like to when the snow flies, right? I'd be like, all right,
Seasonal.
I got to, yeah, seasonal. I'd be like, I train, and then snowboard season comes, and you're just riding a lot, like you're strong, right? Riding snowmobiles, snowboarding, it gets you strong. And summertime comes, just fish a lot, drink a bunch of beer, and just like, I mean, you're active. Like I go backpacking all the time, and like you're active and you're young, so you can get away with it. And then October comes around, you're like, all right, I should probably get back in the gym. But when hunting came, I was like, dude, this is hard, right? Like you got to be strong to go kill an elk in the mountains. Like you do. And I'm like I'm competitive, man. I'm not going to be the one who's holding the group back. Like no way. And so it just I had this just I had a goal, right? September elk hunting is my goal. So I just like started hitting the gym. And then I got linked with this gym in Bellingham where I live, Evergreen Fitness, and just the crew is so good. It's such a like non-egotistical gym. It's not like super CrossFit-y, and you know, there's actually elements of CrossFit, but that's not like the um I've got hurt in like a CrossFit gym, and it kind of turned me off from the gym. And then so I found a good home, and I'm like, dude, I'm in the gym all summer long, and I'm strong, right? And then I go elk hunting, and you get strong. Like the end of elk season, I'm like, I will walk up any mountain. Like
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter, I'll do crazy shit. And then now I'm like, I'm back home. I'm like, okay, like I'm still pretty strong, although I ate a lot of food in Argentina and drank a bunch of wine. And so I definitely need to get in the gym. But if I can just maintain it from like now till, December or January, like I'm strong, dude. Last year when I strapped on a snowboard for the first time, I was like, I'm like good to go. Like no downtime, no like, oh my gosh, I'm sore. I need to ride more. It's like, no, I'm good to go. And so it's like this cycle, right? That's been so positive in my life. And I don't know, I feel good. I'm thankful for it, right? But there will be days where I will like drag myself into the gym, but it's
Good,
because I goal,
good,
right?
good, good.
That's it. If I didn't have that goal, it'd be so easy for me to just be like, it's not going to do it, right? And I have a goal, and it gives you this purpose. And then like I just started working with GoRuck, and it's such a cool company. And I go on these dog walks every morning. It's like a 2 mile easy dog walk, 300 up and down, like very very chill. I just started doing it with weight. Why not? You're doing it anyway. Throw some weight on, right? And just like these little things, and getting to work with a company like GoRuck and getting activated in these different events, and just like motivation, it's purpose, right? It gives, like, I need that, and I just feel like if I didn't have that, I would just wither away. Just like, and
Good.
it's,
You got to keep chasing that then.
I know, man, I know, but like I wish I was just like so driven where I didn't need that, and I was just driven no matter what. And like I want more of that drive, and that's like where I'm trying to get to in my life, right?
You're already doing it, Eric.
Yeah, I'm
You
trying.
just said it. You just said it. I'm dragging myself there sometimes. Good.
Straight
You
up.
got you got to, man. You got to. Everybody thinks that I love getting up at 4 and going in there and doing my thing. It's like, hell, dude, no. No, I don't.
Yeah, hard,
It is hard. It is
hard.
hard. I'd much rather not get out of that warm, cozy bed. No way.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? But
I listened to this uh podcast with Cam and John Barklow, and Barklow was talking about how we're soft as humans, like we just really are, just as a society. Like you look back 50 years, whatever, it's like life is harder, right? And he goes like, "Yeah, I just like taking away just some simple comforts in life." So he set this goal, and he was like, all right, I won't take a warm shower until I kill an elk. And he took cold showers for 9 months, and he
my
killed an
buddy
elk.
does the same thing. Yeah.
Dude, and so I was kind of already doing that, but just because it was summertime, it was hot, I was working out every day. I'd come home, I'd take a cold shower. I'd been doing it for like 3 weeks. And then that podcast came out, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely doing this, dude. So I was like, okay, that's my goal. No hot shower until there's an elk on the ground. And I I was elk hunting, and I went to my buddy's house, and his cold water was broken. I didn't know that. I get in the shower, and I'm like trying to get the cold water, and I hadn't showered in like 10 days. And dude, like I can't get cold water on, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm not taking a shower. So I just went and dipped in the creek. And it was cool, man. It's like I like that. I like um motivational people who, you know, just push you. And that was a big one, dude. So thanks, Barklow. I haven't told him about that yet, but I need to.
Yeah, I met him this past year. He was a nice guy.
Oh, he's awesome. He's
Yeah.
such a solid.
I was like, yeah, you should come on the podcast. Have you ever done a podcast before? And he's like, I'm like, dude, I'm kidding.
He probably likes you more for that.
Yeah, I don't know. If he doesn't,
No.
that's okay. He can fall in line with a lot of other trolls on the internet that aren't a fan of me. That's all right though.
Oh yeah, no, he's a solid dude. Another one of those just speak your mind, no bullshit type of person, and I got a lot of
Yeah,
respect
he
for that.
seems nice. I like talking to
Yeah,
him. Yeah.
very solid dude.
Dude, I think that's all I got. Do you have anything for me, man? It's just been a pleasure getting you on here. I figured we go an hour or two. We're kind of hour and a half in, and I enjoy
Yeah,
talking
dude,
to you, man. You're good. You're good fucking people.
dude. Likewise, I really appreciate having me on, and I guess the timing was right. The 3 years or whatever it was since you first sent me the invite.
I don't know. No, you followed me. I'll never forget that. I was like, I'm pretty sure I sent that fucking guy a message before. I
What?
clicked your
Asshole.
page and I was like, heck yeah, I did.
Yeah. No, that was cool, man. I enjoyed that big time, and I love what you're doing. And
Appreciate you.
yeah, man. I think well, definitely we should cross paths again, hopefully sooner than later, and maybe go on a hunt or whatever.
I have no doubt we will. Um, that's all I got, brother. I'm gonna let you slide. Stay on the line. I'm gonna
Yeah,
get your file uploaded. We'll small talk, plan
yeah,
some
cool.
hunts, and then I'll get you out of here. Cool.
All right. Well, thanks for that. I really do appreciate it.
I appreciate you, brother. Thanks again.
Rock and roll.